Sienna God, hello all. Oshta Sahi, good evening and Wado, thank you for watching. So this is day 7, part A of reading Hollywood Babylon by Kenneth Angers. And so this is Joan Crawford, Faith in Herself is what it says for this photo. And this one is titled Drastic Doubts. Okay, so at the bottom it says Buster Keaton Desolation Row. And so that's going to be the next set of photos. It's pretty torn up. I wonder if it's an earthquake or like it was vandalism. Well, we're fixing to find out. William Blake put it well, in quotes, if a star should doubt, it would immediately go out. Oh. If a star should doubt, it would immediately go out. You know, people can't speak out about anything when they're like in the entertainment industry, and if they do, they're like, oh, you know, and then they're like, that person has a brain. Let's, like, you know what I mean? Like, you have to be like totally quiet on everything so you don't get like blackballed. And then if you're not quiet, it's kind of like they give you these little like slaps on the wrist, and then all of a sudden you're labeled insane. Oh, it's a serious case of dehydration, like whatever, right? Anyway. So I guess it's like them saying what it is, but like in code or something, you know? With the crash, this happened in Hollywood in spades. The strain proved too much for many former greats. Rather than live among the rubble, these chose to make an end. Make an end. I wonder if that's like a, because make is capitalized, like the M is capitalized, and end, and the letter E is capitalized. I wonder if that's like a, let's see, these chose to make an end. You know, I wonder, like, if somebody who lived in this time was with it enough to have conversations about these things, I wonder if they would understand. Because, you know, like, these books are usually like in some sort of code as well, because they can't come right out and say everything, because then it would get pulled, right? I didn't look to see if this is under sci-fi or if it's in like nonfiction or whatever. Because a lot of this stuff, when they try to tell stuff, they're like, oh, it's fiction, it's sci-fi, it's whatever it is, or whatever, you know what I mean? Or sometimes they'll like pigeonhole it in a category that it totally is not even in, but that was the only way they can get the book released. And they're like, yeah, let's just do that. And then other people are like, well, we can't take that seriously because it's in this category or something. I don't know. All right, so some made dramatic tableau, T-A-B-L-E-A-U-X, of their suicides, gods self-slain on their own strange altars. It was at this period that the expression, quote unquote, has been, was first coined. Oh, wow. It was a label hard to shake, however unfairly it had been stuck on. Oh, wow. Once you were given that label, that was it, whether it was right or wrong. That's insane. It's like guilty until proven innocent, although you could never prove yourself innocent. Man. Wow. Some of the quote-unquote lucky stars who managed to march through the twin holocaust of the talkies/crash unscathed made a show of pointedly ignoring the grimmer realities. Such a lucky star was gusty jazz baby Joan Crawford. In 1932, in the depths of the Depression, Crawford felt called upon to fortify the nation's morale with a publicity manifesto and photoplay titled, quote-unquote, Spend, a defiant declaration of rights of the star. In answer to a groundswell of grumbles across the country that movie stars were grossly overpaid, Joan replied, it was the star's duty to maintain the style of living the public associates with her exalted station. Really? Or would they see you as one of them if you scaled back during the time when nobody could afford hardly anything? You know what I mean? With iron determination, she must surround herself with the height of luxury, fashionable furs, dazzling jewelry, and ever-replenished wardrobe of fabulous creations. Like, I remember during the vacation that we were all forced into, the staycation, that we never wanted, right? Um, People were getting upset with the Kardashians because there's a toilet paper shortage, which we all know that that wasn't the case, of course. Like, come on, they can always make toilet paper. Like, let's get real. And it was just something else, right? Just add on something else and then something else. But anyways, they were finding ways to still have fun with each other, even though they were like confined to their places, like, excuse me, and they were doing like the toilet paper, they're TPing each other's houses and stuff, and they were just having a good time. Well, the people were like, well, we don't have no toilet paper over here. Well, I'm here to tell you, you literally can take you rags and wipe yourself up, clean the rags out, right? Cloth diapers, you know, like that's good enough for babies. And so you can actually use cloth to clean yourself up and then clean that out and everything. There are plenty of people who are from other countries are like, we had no issue with the toilet paper, but we had problems with getting like noodles or like other staples because people were hoarding, right? In my country, we don't have toilet paper or whatever it was, is what I was told by quite a few people that were not born here. Okay. So, but people were coming down the Kardashians for just having fun with the excess toilet paper that they had and trying to keep their morale up and everything, right? So it would have been nice to, I would think it would probably have been better for them to then go ahead and voice how they're scaling back and all this other kind of stuff or whatever it was, especially with people like losing their jobs and all that, you know. I wonder if it would have gone over well with them during like the Depression era and all that, if they would have scaled back also. Anyways, with our determination, she must surround herself with the height of luxury, fashionable furs, dazzling jewelry, and ever-replenished wardrobe of fabulous creations. This way, and this way only, with the fans. Will the fans be satisfied, and will dollars stay in circulation? I don't think it fell on their shoulders to keep dollars in circulation. But then again, I wasn't around in that time, so I don't know. Bravely, Joan exhorted her fans to imitate her. In quotes, I, Joan Crawford, I believe in the dollar. Everything I earn, I spend. Oh gosh, that sounds like socialism, doesn't it? End quote. For Joan, at least, it was a religious perpetuation of the Hollywood way of life. Magnificent mansions, motor cars, cascades of luxuries. Life outside the studios, a whirl of cocktail parties, well-publicized nightclub dates. Romantic rendezvous, she played it to the hilt. She, like the others, had stared over the brink, and oblivion had stared right back up. Joan knew where she came from and did not want to go back there. The crash punctured Hollywood's brassy self-confidence in the still night of their gilded souls. The surviving stars, Crawford among them, knew something alien had crawled up on their privileged plateau, a rat named Angst. Scandal made its interest in 1930 when the wild court battle featuring Clara Bow versus Daisy DeVoe. But the show played to a half-empty house, even with Clara's romances spelled out, in the tabloids. The, gosh, what was that tabloid called? I couldn't remember the other day. Oh, the National Enquirer, that's what it was. That's the thing I couldn't remember. The nation was too dazed to be very concerned. The Clara affair was an unwelcome backward glance at a binge that had given everyone a hangover. So this says, Buster Keaton, genius unhinged. Then the one below it says Daisy DeVoe, and she's in the center with the glasses. Let's see. Oh, it's showing up blue today again. Oh, there we go. A lot of papers. In 1931, when Clara suffered her first nervous breakdown, oh man, many of her former fans were out looking for jobs. While Clara recovered in a rest home, a multitude faced a harsher music than jazz. Though Clara's talky comeback the following year was brilliant, call her savage, did not save the day. Clara was a relic, and the pain of it drove her insane. Back to the sanitarium, cooled down in ice-watered sheets. What? Soon to join Clara in the sanitarium was Buster Keaton, who was unhinged by the combined traumas of the arrival of sound. Oh, yeah, I didn't even think about that. That had to be like a total shock, like on Downton Abbey, where the lady who played in Harry Potter, She was like the grandmother or whatever, grandmama or whatever. And when they got the electric in the house, she was like, oh, it's too bright, because she grew up on candles and stuff. So yeah, I didn't even think about that. You would have to, because you could hear everything, pretty much. Anyways, combination loss of artistic control of his films, marital problems, and drink. Clara in court betrayed by Daisy. So it says. This one says Paul Burns' body in Harlow's bedroom. Oh, dang. You got like black around his eyes and whatnot. Good Lord. Enditals? Enditals. This is all one word. Enditals. That's weird. The stars whose jangled nerves led to private mental homes, such as Clara Bow and Buster Keaton, made less noise and fallen than those who wrote their own fade out ode. Rather than face life anywhere else than on the summit, Milton Sills chose to write Finis by NIS in 1930 by hurtling his last limousine over Dead Man's Curve on Sunset Boulevard. Oh. The brilliant actress Jean Eagles opted for a deliberate overdose of heroin. Robert Ames, AMES, took the gas pipe in 1931. Carl Dane put a revolver to his temple in 1932. Hollywood's father confessor also shot himself in 1932, becoming the decade's most talked about suicide. His compassionate nature had earned Paul Byrne, B-E-R-N, the title, and may well have been one of Jean Harlow's reasons for marrying this physically unprepossessing UNPREPOSSESSING intellectual, 22 years her senior. He was Thalberg's assistant at MGM and had been instrumental in bringing Jean to the Culver City factory. Jean is Jean. The odd couple was married on July 2nd, 1932. 2 months later, on September 5th, 1932, the butler found Burns' body in his wife's all-white bedroom in the Benedict Canyon mansion. He was nude, sprawled in front of a full-length mirror. Drenched in Jean's favorite perfume, Mitsouko, Mitsouko, shot through the head by a .38 pistol, which lay by his side. Jean was visiting her mother at the time. The butler did not notify the police, but phoned MGM instead. What is up with that? Soon, Louis B. Mayer and Thalberg were on the scene. I literally wonder if they are told to do that. Like, don't phone anybody, you phone us, you know? Let me see. Soon, Louis B. Mayer and Thalberg were on the scene. Mayer found a note in Burns' handwriting on top of Jean's vanity table. Oh, good. Dearest, dear, yeah. Because I was like, how am I going to read that? Dearest dear, unfortunately, this is the only way to make good the frightful wrong I have done you, and to wipe out my abject humiliation. I love you, Paul. You understand that last night was only a comedy. What? There's the deal. And then, I don't know what this picture is down at the bottom. Let's see. Okay, I guess this is Jean. It doesn't have a name. It seems Byrne had a quote-unquote problem in that he had tried to effect intercourse by artificial means, a realistic phony phallus. Oh. Mayer pocketed this note, and when the police finally arrived 2.5 hours later, only turned it over when the studio publicist Howard Strickling insisted he do so. The following day, Dorothy Millett, Millette, a blonde, would-be starlet, who had been Paul Byrne's first wife, drowned herself in the Sacramento River. So this must be her, Dorothy Millett, I guess, instead of Jean. 2 has-been actors turned alcoholics drowned themselves. John Bowers walked nude into the waves at Malibu. James Murray jumped clothed into the East River. George Hill, talented director of The Big House, blew his head off with a hunting rifle in 1934. Whoa, could you imagine if all those people, like the quantity of people did that now? Or are they, and they're just not telling us? I don't know. Huh. This lady kind of looks like the one that played in Twilight. Bella. Right here. It's interesting how people look alike, but anyhow. Lou Tellegen, Tellegens, suicide in 1935 was not unique. His hideous harakiri, HARA-KARI, with a pair of gold scissors imitated that of Max Linder, Lander, 10 years earlier. Those scissors engraved with Tellegen's name had been busy in former years cutting out press items covering his screen career as Geraldine Farrar's, Farrars, lead-in man, and their well-publicized romance and marriage. Completely forgotten by 1935, Lou surrounded himself with the fat scrapbooks of yellowing newspaper clippings of his days of glory, laid out all his most flattering photos with tattered posters of his triumphs, the long trail and the redeeming sin. Nude in the center of this mocking circle, he squatted Japanese style and began belaboring the has-beens he had become with ferocious scissors stabs to his belly and chest. What? Lou was found eviscerated, heart laid bare, his pathetic souvenirs drenched in blood. You got to be on something to do that. I mean, my God. Or in a state of, like, delirium. Newspaper clippings also played a part in the suicide of exquisite Gwillie Andre, Gwiliandre, a model and failed starlet who had garnered many inches of press coverage but few feet of celluloid. Gwillie was found burnt to a crisp in a funeral pyre of her useless publicity. My Lord. A trend was started by Peg Entwistle, Entwistle, who climbed the steep slopes of Mount Lee to the Hollywood sign. Oh. Which in the 30s spelt out in giant letters the name of Mac Sennett's ill-fated real estate venture, Hollywoodland. Oh, I didn't know that. And clambered to the top of the 13th letter. This picture says, members of the Whedon, Thalberg, Harlow, Shearer, and Byrne. Oh, Lord. Lady posed nude. So here's her picture. There's a whoopsie. Tried to censor it. It says Burns' body is removed from Benedict Canyon. She is there. Here it is right here. And down there, as I say downstairs, Gwillie-Andre Flaming Finale. There it is. Okay, so this next page, it says jumping off place. So here's the old Hollywood sign, and she jumped off of the letter D. Dang, man. Had a bit, okay, whoops. Okay. Multiple pages of pictures. So it says, and clamber to the top of the 13th letter. In parentheses, it says, Peg had a bit in 13 women, but it led to no other offers, close parentheses. She could not go on facing indifferent Tinseltown. Peg dove to her death. Other disillusioned starlets followed her lead, and the Hollywood sign became a notorious sign-and-off place. That's awful. Seconal sleeping pills proved popular and took away Warner's charmer Ross Alexander in 1937 and director Tom Foreman, Forman, in 1938. And this is Peg Entwistle Skydiver. So here is a picture that she took, and I'm going to censor it. Is that right? And the next one that we're going to read is Babylon Babblers. I'm going to show you the picture so I can just kick it off on the next thing. So this is Notorious Mary Nolan, Nolan, and this is Hear No Evil. Is that? Don't go hang, you and go shaska till we meet again. Love you, mean it.